Hey everyone, we're Let's Discuss Games, and my name's Aaron. In today's video, I'm going to be going over my top 5 games that I beat in 2019. And just a disclaimer, not all these games that are on the list came out in 2019, but they are games that I personally played in 2019, and I really enjoyed them. So that'll make sense why if you see a game and you're like, that didn't come out in 2019, that's why it's on the list. So let's press start. Number 5. New Super Lucky's Tale. Out of my top 5 games, this game is the one I have done a review on, so if you want to see it, you can go back, I'll link it, you can check it out. New Super Lucky's Tale makes you feel like a kid again, harkening back to games like Banjo-Kazooie, Mario 64, and Spyro of the glory days of 3D platformers. It's funny, it's quirky, and it never takes itself too seriously. The developers do a great job of making the gameplay loot of collect this, unlock that, beat him or her, addictive to the point where it's hard to put the game down. New Super Lucky's Tale surprised me more than I could have ever imagined. It's not hard by any sort of the imagination, but in this case it feels like a strength to the game. Anyone young or old can pick up this game and play it, and more so enjoy it, and because of that it feels perfect for the Switch. New Super Lucky's Tale was truly a sleeper hit for me in 2019. It was just fun, enjoyable, and I was just rushing through it, collecting as much as I could because I couldn't get enough of it, and I'm very happy I took a chance with the game. Number 4. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. Recently I decided to get back into the Xbox ecosystem. I was impressed with what the Game Pass was offering, and I thought it would be a cost-effective way to play newer games that came out. It just was saving me money overall. Bundled in my Xbox that I bought was Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, and man am I happy it was. The game overall takes parts of many other popular game series on the market and fuses them into a very enjoyable romp through a small sliver of the Star Wars universe. Dark Souls-like rest zones, Uncharted inspire exploration and movement, and combat similar to Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice. Fallen Order brings fun but challenging gameplay that never really feels stale due to the swordplay experience you have with your lightsaber. The characters are well acted and voiced, and the planets you visit offer much to do and explore. It may not be the longest game, it took me roughly 10 or 12 hours to play, but what you get from the game is well worth it. The fact that Respawn and EA were able to bring to the table an enjoyable microtransaction-free game is astounding, and hopefully this game will sell well enough to warrant a sequel in the future, and also keep EA from putting out as many microtransactions. Number 3. Fire Emblem 3 Houses. Here's the thing. I almost want to say my 2 and 3 choices on this list are interchangeable. Both are extremely great games and both deserve endless amounts of praise, but for the sake of the list, I decided to put 3 Houses at 3rd place. Going into this game, I was experiencing the Fire Emblem series for the first time. The allure of a school as the main environment where the game takes place and your main role being a teacher sounded like a perfect time sink for me. Thankfully, it was all that and more. The game is loaded to the brim with memorable characters, with some of my favorite voice acting of all time. The characters are dynamic, with each having their own backstory and experience to share. The game does an amazing job of making you feel connected to your chosen house and the students that reside in it. You care for them and want the best for them, and it's your responsibility to give them that. The characters alone in this game make it a good investment, but the battles and gameplay are just as addictive. Strategizing your moves and planning your next attack keeps you on edge, and the fact that you care for your students provides more stress on you to keep them alive. Battles will push and make you question each choice, but nothing feels better than pulling out a tough victory. Fire Emblem 3 Houses will keep you coming back for more each and every time, and with 3 separate houses and multiple storylines, you'll have more than enough to keep you invested. Number 2. Hollow Knight. A game that provides addictive gameplay, beautiful art style, and a wonderful soundtrack are hard to find, and that's honestly why Hollow Knight blew me away. The first thing you notice about the game is how beautiful it looks and how great it sounds. As soon as the game hands over the controls to you, you realize and love how good it feels. Controls are tight and responsive, and they have to be for a game like Hollow Knight. You take on Dark Souls-like bosses that challenge and frustrate you to no end. However, just like in a Souls game, when you finally beat them, nothing feels more satisfying. The world is expansive, and even though you backtrack through a decent chunk of it, it doesn't feel like a chore due to the varying ecosystems and environments you experience. Story-wise, it's more on you the player to dig in and discover the game's secrets, but I never felt burdened with it because I was so enthralled with the world. Hollow Knight was the challenge I needed in a year stacked with RPGs, and now I can't wait until the sequel comes out this year. Number 1. Dragon Quest XI's Echoes of an Elusive Age. There is a lot I can say about Dragon Quest XI. First off, the name is an absolute mouthful. Just remembering the proper full name can take some time to get down, but that's probably the only negative I can come up with my time with this game. The world is well developed and beautiful. It changes and warps based off the story and time period. It's littered with collectibles, secrets, and enemies, and diverse enough to never feel stale. Battles are exciting and never get tedious compared to other turn-based RPGs in the genre. You can control the speed at which the battle occurs, and can have single control of only the main character, or choose to control every party member's actions. Battles that occur in the wild are at your choosing, and no longer random encounters as in the original games in the series. I appreciate that change immensely. However, where the game really grabbed me and made me fall in love with it was its characters. They're funny, witty, serious, charming, and all the good things you want and need in a great RPG. They are fully voice acted and memorable for each of their own unique ways. The game does a great job of giving backstory to every person in your party and giving meaning to why they are on this journey with you in the first place. I cared deeply for each member of my party, even the ones who didn't get as much playtime, never really favoriting one over the other. The story of Dragon Quest XI's does tell a familiar story of a hero from a small town going on an adventure and saving the world, but this game makes you care about the world and the people in it more so than many games have ever made me feel, and for that reason, Dragon Quest XI is my favorite game of 2019. Thanks for watching the video and making this channel so fun for us. We use it as an outlet for us to share how we feel about things all video game related, and so we appreciate that there's people out there who actually watch and listen to us. Here's to hoping 2020 brings even more amazing games for us to gush over and review, but for now we're going to get back to finishing this backlog of ours. So game over.